The Earth is a masterpiece, a planet full of the unexpected. We are moving through the realms where nature defies logic and beauty challenges belief. Across deserts, mountains, and oceans, the extraordinary hides in plain sight. Each destination tells a story the world has nearly forgotten. Today, we embark on a special expedition. Our mission: to reveal destinations that make our world truly magical. Destinations beyond what you could imagine. Kelimutu, Indonesia. High in the volcanic highlands of Indonesia, 3 crater lakes sit side by side, yet no two look the same. This is Kelimutu, one of the world's most mysterious volcanic wonders, where the lakes constantly change color without warning. These lakes can shift between blue, green, red, black, or even white, a phenomenon caused by the release of volcanic gases and minerals from deep within the Earth. Unlike other volcanic lakes, their transformations follow no predictable pattern, making every visit a unique experience. For the local people, Kelimutu is more than a geological marvel. It is a sacred site. According to tradition, the lakes are the final resting places of spirits, with each lake believed to hold a different type of soul. Batu Caves, Malaysia. Just outside Kuala Lumpur rises one of Southeast Asia's most iconic spiritual landmarks, Batu Caves. Guarded by a towering 42.7-meter golden statue of Lord Murugan, the complex is one of the most important Hindu shrines outside of India. Set within a limestone hill estimated to be over 400 million years old, the caves house a series of temples nestled in vast chambers and hidden grottos. To reach the main temple, visitors must climb 272 colorful steps, often accompanied by curious monkeys that call the area home. Each year, Batu Caves becomes the center of devotion during the Thaipusam festival, when over 1 million devotees and visitors gather in a vibrant spiritual celebration marked by music, rituals, and powerful acts of faith. The Azores, Portugal. Floating in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the Azores are a volcanic dreamscape. 9 lush islands born from fire, now bursting with green hills, crater lakes, and misty mountain peaks. Formed by ancient volcanic activity, the islands are alive with geothermal energy. On Saint-Michel, locals even cook meals underground using natural steam vents, like the famous Cozido das Fornas, a traditional stew slow-cooked by the earth itself. But the Azores aren't just about land. They're one of the world's top destinations for whale watching, with over 20 species of whales and dolphins passing through these deep blue waters. Scattered across the islands, villages like Cidades rest inside volcanic calderas, surrounded by twin lakes, one green, one blue, adding a touch of magic to the already surreal landscape. Laguna, Colorada, Bolivia. In Bolivia's remote Altiplano, more than 4,200 meters, or almost 14,000 feet above sea level, lies a lake that seems too surreal to be real, Laguna, Colorada. Its shallow waters shimmer in shades of deep red, colored by mineral-rich sediments and red algae that thrive in the extreme environment. Scattered across the crimson surface are bright white islands of borax, creating a stunning contrast of colors that looks like something from another planet. But perhaps the lake's most iconic residents are its flamingos, thousands of them wading gracefully through the salty water. This is one of the best places in the world to spot the rare James's flamingo, which thrives in this high-altitude haven. Set within the Eduardo Avaroa Andean Fauna National Reserve, Laguna, Colorada is more than a natural wonder. It's a masterpiece of color, life, and otherworldly beauty, high in the sky. Fort Bourtange, Netherlands. From above, it looks like something out of a strategy game. Perfectly symmetrical, surrounded by canals, and shaped like a five-pointed star. This is Fort Bourtange, one of the most unique military structures in the world. Built in 1593 during the 80 Years' War, the fort was strategically placed to control the only road between Germany and Groningen. Its star-shaped design, complete with moats and fortified walls, made it nearly impossible to conquer. Despite multiple attacks, Fort Bourtange was never taken by enemy forces. As military tactics changed, the fort lost its strategic importance and was eventually abandoned. But instead of being forgotten, it was beautifully restored and transformed into a living museum, allowing visitors to walk its cobbled streets, explore historic buildings, and step back in time. A masterpiece of engineering and history, Fort Bourtange remains one of the Netherlands' most fascinating landmarks. Nazca Lines, Peru. Etched into the barren desert of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines stretch across the earth like an ancient canvas, their purpose still shrouded in mystery. These massive geoglyphs, created by the Nazca civilization over 2,000 years ago, depict a variety of figures, from intricate geometric shapes to enormous animals like hummingbirds, spiders, and Some of these drawings span over 370 meters long, so large that they can only be fully seen from the sky. This has led to endless speculation. How did an ancient civilization design such precise images without an aerial view? Some believe the lines served as astronomical calendars, while others suggest they held religious or ceremonial significance. Despite centuries of exposure, the lines remain remarkably well preserved thanks to the region's dry climate. A masterpiece of ancient engineering, the Nazca lines continue to intrigue historians, archaeologists, and dreamers alike, standing as one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. Meteora Monasteries, Greece. Perched high above the valley, balanced on towering rock pillars, the Meteora Monasteries seem to defy gravity. This breathtaking site in central Greece is home to one of the most unique religious complexes in the world, where centuries-old monasteries sit atop sheer cliffs, over 400 meters above the ground. Seeking solitude and protection from invaders, monks began settling here in the 14th century, using the steep cliffs as a natural fortress. In the past, the only way to reach these monasteries was by rope ladders and pulley systems, which could be pulled up in times of danger. Today, stone staircases provide access, but the sense of isolation remains. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Meteora preserves both Greek Orthodox tradition and one of the world's most stunning landscapes. Its dramatic setting has even captured the attention of Hollywood, appearing in the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only. A place of faith, history, and unparalleled beauty, Meteora is truly a wonder in the sky. Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. In the heart of Croatia, a cascading world of waterfalls, turquoise pools, and lush forests unfolds. This is Plitvice Lakes National Park, one of Europe's most enchanting natural treasures. Made up of 16 interconnected lakes, Plitvice flows from one level to the next through a series of stunning waterfalls and natural travertine dams. These limestone barriers actually grow over time, slowly reshaping the park and forming new cascades in the process. What makes Plitvice truly magical is the ever-changing color of its waters. Depending on sunlight, minerals, and algae, the lakes shift between turquoise, emerald green, and deep blue, a living liquid painting. Moskanesoya, Norway. Rising sharply from the Arctic waters of northern Norway, Moskanesoya is a masterpiece of dramatic landscapes and raw beauty. As part of the Lofoten Islands, it's known for its jagged peaks, deep fjords, and cliffs that plunge straight into the sea. Scattered across the island are charming fishing villages like Rain and O, where colorful cabins cling to the shoreline, offering a glimpse into traditional coastal life. The island is also a playground for hikers, with rugged trails leading to unforgettable viewpoints like Ryten, Kvalvika Beach, and Hermansdalstinden. Depending on the time of year, you can stand beneath the midnight sun in summer, or watch the northern lights dance across the winter sky. Mosquinisoia is also rich in wildlife, from soaring sea eagles to playful seals and flocks of seabirds riding the wind. It's a place where nature reigns, and every view feels like a scene from a Nordic legend. Huacachina, Peru. Tucked away in the vast Peruvian desert is a place that looks like it belongs in a dream. Huacachina, a real-life oasis surrounded by towering sand dunes. Built around a natural lagoon, this tiny village is often called the Oasis of America, and it's easy to see why. Legend has it the lagoon was created when a princess dropped her magic mirror, and the water that spilled became the oasis. Today, the mirror-like lagoon is the heart of Huacachina, framed by palm trees and pastel buildings. But this peaceful spot is also an adventure hub. The surrounding dunes are among the tallest in South America, making Huacachina a hotspot for sandboarding and dune buggy rides, a desert playground like no other. Angel Falls, Venezuela. Hidden deep within Venezuela's Canaima National Park, cascading from the clouds, is the tallest waterfall on Earth, Angel Falls. Dropping an astonishing 979 meters from the summit of Auyan Tepui, this natural wonder is so high that its waters often evaporate into mist before reaching the ground. The falls pour off the edge of a tepui, a flat-topped mountain carved by time and legend. These ancient table mountains are some of the oldest geological formations on the planet. Angel Falls gets its name from Jimmy Angel, the daring American pilot who first flew over the site in 1933 and later crash-landed his plane atop the very mountain. Reaching the falls is no easy feat. Accessible only by boat, small plane, and jungle trek, visiting Angel Falls is a true expedition, but one that rewards with unrivaled beauty and scale. It even inspired Paradise Falls in Pixar's Up. Sundarbans Mangrove Forest, Bangladesh and India. Where land and sea intertwine in a maze of tidal rivers and dense foliage, lies the Sundarbans, the largest mangrove forest in the world, stretching across the coasts of Bangladesh and India. This vast waterlogged wilderness is one of the most unique ecosystems on the planet, and the only one where Royal Bengal tigers are known to swim. These elusive predators roam the tangled forests and muddy banks, adapting to a life shaped by tides and storms. But the Sundarbans doesn't just protect wildlife, it also protects people. Its thick mangrove trees form a natural barrier, absorbing the impact of cyclones and storm surges that frequently batter the coastlines. Tsingy Rouge, Madagascar. In the heart of Madagascar, a surreal landscape rises from the earth. Tsingy Rouge, a labyrinth of jagged red stone pinnacles that seem almost otherworldly. Unlike anything else on the island, this dramatic formation is the result of nature's relentless artistry. Over time, wind and water have sculpted the soft laterite soil into towering, needle-like spires. Constantly evolving, the landscape shifts with each passing year, as erosion continues to reshape the formations. What exists today may look different tomorrow, making Tsingy Rouge an ever-changing wonder. Despite its striking beauty, Tsingy Rouge remains one of Madagascar's best-kept secrets. Often overshadowed by the island's famous rainforests and wildlife, this hidden gem is a testament to the raw power of nature. Hallstatt, Austria. Tucked between the crystal waters of Lake Hallstatt and the towering peaks of the Austrian Alps, Hallstatt looks like it was plucked straight from a fairy tale. With pastel-colored houses, narrow lanes, and alpine charm, it's often called one of the most beautiful villages in the world. But this picture-perfect place holds deep history. Hallstatt is home to the world's oldest salt mine, with salt extraction dating back over 7,000 years. So significant that an entire prehistoric European culture is named after it, the Hallstatt culture. The village's beauty is so admired that it was even recreated in China, where a full-scale replica now stands as a tribute. Still, nothing compares to the real thing, especially at sunrise or sunset, when the houses and mountains reflect in the glassy lake like a living postcard. Timeless, tranquil, and rich with heritage, Hallstatt is Austria's alpine jewel. Lençóis Maranhenses, Brazil. At first glance, Lençóis Maranhenses looks like a vast desert, rolling white sand dunes stretching endlessly under the sun. But surprisingly, it's not a desert at all. This region in northeastern Brazil receives heavy rainfall, creating a spectacle found almost nowhere else on Earth. During the rainy season, fresh water collects between the dunes, forming thousands of crystal-clear lagoons. The contrast of bright blue water against the white sand makes it one of the most surreal landscapes in the world. Yet this place is constantly changing. The wind reshapes the dunes year after year, ensuring no two visits are ever the same. Life here is just as unusual. Fish like the wolffish burrow into the wet sand to survive when the pools dry up, only to reappear when the rains return. With no roads leading in, only 4x4 vehicles can navigate this untouched wonder. A place of endless transformation, Lençóis Maranhenses is nature's own masterpiece. Burka mud volcanoes, Romania. In the hills of Romania, the earth bubbles and boils in an eerie display of nature's power. This is the Burka mud volcanoes, a landscape that looks more like the surface of another planet than anything found on Earth. Unlike traditional volcanoes, these formations don't spew lava. Instead, they release cold, bubbling mud, pushed to the surface by underground natural gas pressure. The result is an ever-shifting terrain of oozing craters, hardened mudflows, and cracked earth. The extreme environment here makes it nearly impossible for plants to survive. High salinity and constantly changing ground conditions create a barren, lunar-like landscape. With only a handful of similar sites in the world, the Burka mud volcanoes remain one of Romania's rarest and most unusual wonders. Though small in size, these mud volcanoes remind us that Earth's geology is full of surprises. Sometimes, even fireless volcanoes can shape an unforgettable landscape. Kawah Putih, Indonesia. High in the volcanic highlands of West Java lies a lake that seems to belong to another world, Kawah Putih, or the White Crater. Formed within the caldera of Mount Patuha, this stunning lake is known for its milky turquoise waters, which can shift to green, white, or even light brown depending on the temperature and sulfur levels. Surrounded by pale, ghostly trees and often veiled in mist, the lake has an eerie, dreamlike beauty. The strong sulfur scent in the air reminds visitors that this is still very much an active volcanic landscape. At over 2,400 meters above sea level, the cool, crisp mountain air offers a welcome escape from Indonesia's tropical heat. Taal Volcano, Philippines. Just a short drive from Manila lies one of the world's most fascinating geological formations, Taal Volcano, a volcano within a lake, within a larger volcanic caldera. This natural nesting doll is one of the Philippines' most iconic and unusual landmarks. Despite its small size, this is one of the country's most active volcanoes, having erupted over 30 times in recorded history. Its 2020 eruption blanketed surrounding areas in ash and reminded everyone of the power it holds beneath the surface. The best views come from Tagaytay Ridge, where you can gaze across lake at the steaming crater nestled on Volcano Island. But the wonder doesn't end with the scenery. Lake is also home to tawilis, the only freshwater sardine species in the world, found nowhere else on Earth. Naltar Valley, Pakistan. Hidden deep in the towering ranges of northern Pakistan, Naltar Valley is a place where alpine magic meets Himalayan adventure. Surrounded by snow-capped peaks and pine-covered slopes, this remote valley in Gilgit-Baltistan feels like a secret the world hasn't quite discovered. It's best known for its Bashkiri Lakes, a series of stunning high-altitude pools that shimmer in shades of blue, green, and turquoise, depending on the light and time of year. In winter, Naltar transforms into a snowy playground and becomes home to Pakistan's oldest ski resort, drawing thrill-seekers from around the region. And for wildlife lovers, the valley's forests are a sanctuary for snow leopards, ibex, and markhor, living freely in one of nature's most dramatic backdrops. Reaching Naltar is half the adventure, via a rugged off-road jeep trail that winds through cliffs and forests. But once you arrive, it's clear. Naltar Valley is a hidden wonder carved by nature's boldest brush. Okigahara, Japan. At the base of Mount Fuji, a dense and twisted forest stretches for miles, its trees tangled together in an impenetrable maze. This is Aokigahara, also known as the Sea of Trees, one of Japan's most mysterious and legendary landscapes. Unlike most forests, Aokigahara grows on hardened lava, the result of a Mount Fuji eruption over 1,000 years ago. This unique terrain makes it difficult for trees to root deeply, creating an eerie, gnarled canopy. Adding to its unsettling atmosphere, the forest is known for an unusual silence, as the thick vegetation absorbs sound, making it one of the quietest places in Japan. But Aokigahara is more than just a geological wonder. It's steeped in folklore. Stories tell of yurei, vengeful spirits that haunt the forest, furthering its reputation as one of Japan's most haunted places. A place of both natural beauty and unsettling legend, Aokigahara remains one of the most enigmatic forests in the world. Mont Saint-Michel, France. Rising from the waters of Normandy like a scene from a fairy tale, Mont Saint-Michel is one of France's most breathtaking landmarks. This medieval masterpiece sits atop a rocky island, surrounded by shifting tides that transform it from a peninsula into an island in just a matter of hours. At its peak stands the Mont Saint-Michel Abbey, a structure dating back to the 8th century, once a place of pilgrimage and now a symbol of France's rich history. Its strategic position made it a natural fortress, nearly impossible to capture during battles, and its dramatic setting continues to captivate millions of visitors every year. Its towering spires and winding streets have even inspired legendary fictional castles, including Minas Tirith in The Lord of the Rings and Disney's Tangled. A place of history, myth, and stunning natural beauty, Mont Saint-Michel stands as one of the world's most enchanting wonders. Dalol, Ethiopia. In the heart of Ethiopia's Danakil Depression lies a place that looks more like another planet than part of Earth. Dalol, one of the hottest and most hostile environments on the planet. With an average annual temperature of over 34.4 degrees Celsius, Dalol holds the record as the hottest inhabited place on Earth, though today no one lives there permanently. The landscape is a swirling palette of neon yellows, greens, oranges, and reds, created by mineral-rich hot springs, sulfur deposits, and volcanic activity bubbling up from beneath the crust. This extreme terrain is dotted with acid pools, salt formations, and geysers, forming one of the most surreal and otherworldly places on Earth. Located inside a volcanic crater below sea level, Dalol continues to fascinate scientists and explorers alike. Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Rising dramatically from the jungles of Sri Lanka, Sigiriya, or the Lion Rock Fortress, is one of the most awe-inspiring ancient sites in the world. Built atop a 200-meter-tall rock column, this sky-high stronghold was once the royal palace of King Kasyapa in the 5th century. The entrance to the fortress was designed to resemble a gigantic lion, with its massive paws still guarding the stairway that winds up the rock. At the base and along the climb, you'll find traces of brilliant engineering, including symmetrical water gardens, moats, and a polished mirror wall once so smooth the king could see his reflection in it. Socotra Island, Yemen. Floating in the Arabian Sea, far off the coast of Yemen, lies a place so strange and otherworldly, it's often called the most alien-looking place on Earth. This is Socotra Island, a land where evolution took its own path. Separated from mainland Africa millions of years ago, Socotra became a living laboratory of life. Over 1/3 of its plant species are found nowhere else on Earth. making its biodiversity truly one of a kind. The island's most iconic resident is the dragon's blood tree, with its umbrella-shaped canopy and crimson sap once thought to hold magical powers. Paired with bottle-shaped succulents, rare birds, and surreal desert landscapes, Socotra feels more like a scene from a science fiction film than a real-world location. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Stretching endlessly across the Bolivian Altiplano, Salar de Uyuni is the largest salt flat on Earth, covering more than 10,000 square kilometers of dazzling white landscape. What was once a prehistoric lake is now a vast, shimmering sea of salt, flat, bright, and otherworldly. In the dry season, the surface splits into perfect hexagonal patterns, naturally formed by the drying salt crust. But in the rainy season, Salar de Uyuni transforms. A thin sheet of water turns it into a giant mirror, reflecting the sky so perfectly that the horizon disappears, creating stunning optical illusions. Beneath its beauty lies power. Salar de Uyuni holds one of the world's largest reserves of lithium, the metal that powers our phones and electric cars. Landmannalaugar, Iceland. Tucked deep within Iceland's highlands lies Landmannalaugar, a place where fire and ice collide to create one of the most surreal landscapes on Earth. This geothermal wonderland is filled with steaming hot springs, bubbling pools, and volcanic vents, making it a paradise for those seeking both adventure and relaxation. One of Landmannalaugar's most striking features is its rhyolite mountains, which shimmer in shades of red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. These vivid colors come from volcanic minerals, painting a breathtaking scene that looks almost otherworldly. Shaped by both volcanic eruptions and glaciers, the region is a dramatic mix of lava fields, rugged peaks, and serene valleys. Nearby, the mighty Hekla volcano, one of Iceland's most active, looms over the landscape, a reminder of the island's raw power. Reaching Landmannalaugar isn't easy. Its roads are only accessible in summer, often requiring a 4x4 vehicle. But for those who make the journey, it's an unforgettable glimpse into Iceland's wild and untamed beauty. Ronda, Spain. Perched high in the mountains of southern Spain, Ronda is a city split in two, literally. The dramatic El Tajo Gorge cuts straight through the city, creating a breathtaking divide that's spanned by one of Spain's most iconic structures, the Puente Nuevo, or New Bridge. Rising nearly 120 meters above the canyon floor, it took more than 40 years to complete, and remains an architectural marvel. But Ronda is more than just scenery. It's home to one of Spain's oldest bullrings, the Plaza de Toros, a place steeped in tradition and history. The city's winding streets and diverse architecture reflect centuries of Moorish, Roman, and Spanish influence. Its beauty has long inspired artists and writers, including Ernest Hemingway and Orson Welles, who both found creative refuge here. With its stunning views and rich cultural heritage, Ronda is a storybook city carved into stone. Los Roques Archipelago, Venezuela. Off the northern coast of Venezuela lies a hidden slice of paradise, Los Roques Archipelago, a sparkling chain of over 300 islands, islets, and cays surrounded by some of the clearest turquoise waters in the Caribbean. Protected as a national park since 1972, Los Roques is a sanctuary of coral reefs, white sand beaches, and thriving marine life. It's home to one of the largest coral reef systems in the Caribbean, making it a dream destination for snorkelers and divers seeking underwater wonders. Above the surface, steady winds and calm lagoons create the perfect playground for kite surfers and sailors, while the peaceful atmosphere offers something rare, a truly unspoiled escape, far from the crowds. Rocamadour, France. Clinging to the side of a limestone cliff high above the Alzu Canyon, the medieval village of Rocamadour looks like something out of a storybook. Its stacked stone buildings, narrow paths, and sacred sanctuaries appear to grow right out of the rock itself. Since the Middle Ages, Rocamadour has drawn countless pilgrims as a major stop on the Way of St. James, thanks in part to the revered Black Madonna, a wooden statue believed to hold miraculous powers. The cliffside complex includes 7 sanctuaries built into different levels of the cliff, including chapels, crypts, and a basilica, all connected by a grand staircase once climbed on pilgrims' knees in devotion. Legends say Rocamadour is tied to Roland and the Knights of Charlemagne, giving the village a mystical aura. With history in its stones and faith in its foundations, Rocamadour remains one of France's most extraordinary spiritual and architectural wonders. Phong Nha-ke Bang, Vietnam. Beneath the rugged limestone peaks of central Vietnam lies a world few have seen, and even fewer have fully explored: Phong Nha-ke Bang National Park. This karst kingdom, over 400 million years in the making, is one of Asia's oldest and most mysterious landscapes. At its heart is Sun Dung Cave, the largest cave on Earth by volume. So vast it could fit a full New York City block, skyscrapers and all. But Sundong is just the beginning. The park hides over 300 caves and grottos, many of them still unexplored, forming an underground maze of rivers, tunnels, and hidden chambers. Some caves even have their own ecosystems, with jungles, clouds, and weather systems entirely sealed off from the outside world. Today, Phang Nga has become a mecca for adventurers, offering caving, ziplining, and jungle treks into the unknown. It's not just a place, it's an expedition into the heart of the earth. Sossusvlei, Namibia. In the heart of the Namib Desert lies a place where sand becomes sculpture, Sossusvlei, a surreal landscape of towering dunes and stark beauty. These are not ordinary dunes. Some rise over 300 meters high, among the tallest on Earth, glowing in deep reds and fiery oranges thanks to the iron-rich sand and centuries of oxidation. At the foot of the dunes lies Dead Vlei, a white clay pan dotted with the skeletal remains of camelthorn trees, some over 900 years old. Frozen in time by the desert's dry embrace, they stand like ghostly monuments in the sun. Though part of one of the world's driest deserts, rare rains bring temporary rivers and bursts of green, transforming the landscape into something truly magical. Best seen at sunrise when shadows stretch long across the sand, Sossusvlei is nature's desert masterpiece, silent, powerful, and unforgettable. Alberobello, Italy. In the rolling countryside of southern Italy's Puglia region, the town of Alberobello stands out for one charming reason: its iconic Trulli houses. These whitewashed stone huts with cone-shaped roofs look like they were lifted from a fairy tale, yet their origins are surprisingly practical. Built entirely from local limestone and stacked without mortar, Trulli were designed to be easily dismantled, a clever workaround to avoid feudal property taxes centuries ago. Today, over 1,500 Trulli still stand, lining narrow lanes and cozy courtyards. Some serve as homes, others as shops, cafes, or tiny museums. Look up, and you'll spot mysterious symbols painted on the rooftops, zodiac signs, Christian crosses, and ancient magical marks that hint at centuries of local lore. Unique, whimsical, and built from ingenuity, Alberobello is a living storybook of stone and tradition, one that continues to enchant every visitor who walks its winding paths. Quebrada de Humahuaca, Argentina. In the highlands of northwest Argentina, a valley bursts with color, history, and culture. This is the Quebrada de Humahuaca, a place where nature paints in bold strokes. The landscape is dominated by the Hill of Seven Colors, A vibrant tapestry of reds, pinks, greens, and purples, each hue representing a different layer of geological time. But the beauty here is more than skin deep. This valley has served as a trade route for over 10,000 years, once forming part of the ancient Inca Trail. Perched between 2,000 and 3,000 meters above sea level, the Quebrada is also a living tapestry of Andean tradition. In the villages scattered along the valley, you'll find handmade crafts, folk music, and vibrant festivals that preserve indigenous heritage. Kawah Ijen, Indonesia. High in the mountains of East Java in Indonesia lies one of the most surreal and haunting landscapes on Earth, Kawah Ijen. This active stratovolcano is home to a massive turquoise-colored crater lake, one of the most acidic bodies of water in the world. The lake's striking beauty masks its harsh reality, as its waters are so corrosive they can dissolve metal. But Kawah Ijen's most famous spectacle comes at night. Here, electric blue flames dance across the crater, created by ignited sulfuric gases escaping from deep within the earth. This rare phenomenon makes the volcano look like something out of science fiction. Despite its dangers, the crater is a workplace for local sulfur miners, who carry loads of up to 90 kilograms on their backs, often without proper protection. Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. Rising dramatically from the edge of Ireland's rugged west coast, the Cliffs of Moher are one of the most iconic natural wonders in the country. Towering up to 214 meters above the crashing Atlantic Ocean, they offer sweeping views that stretch for miles on a clear day. Formed over 300 million years ago, these massive cliffs are layered with ancient shale and sandstone, shaped by relentless wind and sea. But they're not just a geological marvel, they're also a sanctuary for wildlife. Over 20 species of seabirds, including puffins and peregrine falcons, nest along these steep walls. Their dramatic beauty has even caught the eye of filmmakers, appearing in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and the Princess Bride. The name Moher comes from a long-lost fort that once stood at Hag's Head, the cliff's southernmost point. Kjeragbolten, Norway. High above Norway's stunning Lysefjord, a single boulder is suspended in midair, Kjeragbolten, one of the most heart-stopping natural wonders on Earth. This giant rock is wedged between two vertical cliffs, hovering nearly 984 meters above the fjord below. Dropped into place by glacial movement around 50,000 years ago, the boulder is perfectly stuck. So perfectly, in fact, that brave visitors can step out and stand on it. There are no safety rails, no barriers, just you, the rock, and the dizzying drop. Getting to Bolton isn't easy. It takes a demanding 3 to 5 hour round-trip hike across steep, rocky terrain, making it a true adventure for seasoned hikers. And for the even bolder, the cliffs nearby are a world-famous base-jumping hotspot. Atacama, Chile. Stretching along the coast of northern Chile, the Atacama Desert is the driest non-polar desert on Earth. In some areas, rain has never been recorded, and the landscape appears frozen in time, harsh, silent, and incredibly beautiful. With its red rocks, cracked earth, and sweeping dunes, the Atacama looks more like Mars than anywhere else on the planet. In fact, its alien terrain has been used by NASA to test rovers and equipment bound for space. But even in this seemingly lifeless environment, nature surprises. The desert hides vibrant salt flats, mineral-rich lagoons, and high-altitude lakes, often dotted with flamingos and set against the backdrop of the Andes. Long before scientists and explorers arrived, indigenous civilizations thrived here, leaving behind ancient petroglyphs and geoglyphs etched into the earth. Lake Natron, Tanzania. In northern Tanzania, there's a lake so extreme, it seems like something out of a fantasy novel. This is Lake Natron, a place of red waters, eerie stillness, and surreal beauty. Its waters can reach temperatures of 60 degrees Celsius and a pH level of 10.5, making it one of the most alkaline environments on Earth. The result? Animal remains are sometimes preserved by the lake's minerals, creating the haunting illusion of creatures turned to stone. But even in this hostile environment, life finds a way. Millions of lesser flamingos come here to breed, drawn to the safety of the salty shallows where few predators dare to follow. During the dry season, the lake can glow in deep shades of red or pink, thanks to microorganisms that thrive in its salty water. Lying in the shadow of the old Dueño Lengai volcano, Lake Natron is both eerie and extraordinary, a place where beauty and danger intertwine. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. In the heart of Bohol in the Philippines, a surreal landscape stretches as far as the eye can see, over 1,200 perfectly rounded hills, rising like scoops of ice cream from the earth. These are the Chocolate Hills, one of the country's most iconic and mysterious natural wonders. During the rainy season, the hills are lush and green. But when the dry season arrives, the grass turns brown, transforming the landscape into a field of chocolate-colored mounds, a sight that gives the hills their name. Formed from ancient coral and limestone, the hills are believed to have taken shape through uplift and erosion. Yet, the reason for their nearly uniform size and shape remains a geological mystery. Local legend tells a different tale, that the hills were created from the tears or stones of a heartbroken giant, adding a layer of folklore to their charm. Whether viewed through science or story, the Chocolate Hills are undeniably magical. Jeju Island, South Korea. Off the southern coast of South Korea lies Jeju Island, a volcanic paradise shaped by fire and cooled by time. At its center towers Halasan, the country's tallest mountain, a dormant volcano surrounded by lush forests and winding trails. Beneath the surface, the island hides a network of lava tubes, like the vast and eerie Manjangul Cave, formed by ancient lava flows. Above ground, Jeju's terrain is a tapestry of crater lakes, black sand beaches, and volcanic cones, including the iconic Seongsan Ilchulbong, or Sunrise Peak, where early risers gather to watch the dawn light up the sea. Jeju is also known as the Island of Women Divers, home to the legendary Henyo, female freedivers who've been harvesting seafood without oxygen tanks for generations. Faroe Islands, Denmark. Tucked away in the North Atlantic between Iceland and Norway, the Faroe Islands feel like a world untouched. This remote archipelago of 18 volcanic islands is a land of sheer cliffs, misty mountains, and waterfalls that plunge straight into the sea. The weather here is famously unpredictable. You can experience sun, rain, wind, and fog all in a single day, giving the landscape a wild and ever-changing mood. But it's not just about the views. The cliffside colonies of puffins, guillemots, and other seabirds make the islands a paradise for nature lovers. Down in the villages, life moves at a quiet rhythm, with grass-roofed homes, Old Norse traditions, and the melodic tones of the Faroese language still going strong. Rugged, remote, and rich with soul, the Faroe Islands are where nature speaks loudly, and tradition whispers just as clearly. Goblin Valley, USA. Deep in the deserts of Utah lies a landscape so bizarre, it feels like stepping into another world. This is Goblin Valley, a place filled with thousands of strange, mushroom-shaped rock formations known as hoodoos. Their eerie, goblin-like appearance is what gave the valley its name, making it one of the most unusual landscapes in the American Southwest. These formations have been sculpted over 170 million years, shaped by wind and water erosion on soft sandstone. But Goblin Valley isn't just a geological wonder, it's a playground for adventure. Though it remains lesser known compared to Utah's famous parks like Arches and Zion, Goblin Valley is just as captivating. Some even believe the formations hold a supernatural secret, that the goblins are ancient beings turned to stone. Toledo, Spain. Perched high on a hill and surrounded by the winding Tagus River, Toledo is a city where history and culture blend seamlessly. Known as the City of Three Cultures, Toledo was a rare place where Christians, Muslims, and Jews coexisted for centuries, leaving behind a stunning mix of mosques, synagogues, and cathedrals. For much of Spain's history, Toledo was at the heart of power, even serving as the nation's capital until 1561, when Madrid took its place. Its medieval streets, towering fortresses, and breathtaking architecture earned it UNESCO World Heritage status, preserving its legacy for generations to come. The city also became the home of El Greco, the famous Renaissance painter whose masterpieces still adorn its churches and museums. Rapa Nui, Chile. In the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean, over 2,000 miles, or over 3,200 kilometers from mainland Chile, lies one of the most remote and mysterious places on Earth, Rapa Nui, also known as Easter Island. The island is home to nearly 1,000 moai statues, enormous stone figures carved by the Rapa Nui people between the 13th and 16th centuries. Some of these monoliths weigh more than 80 tons, yet they were somehow transported miles across the island without wheels or beasts of burden. The method remains one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Interestingly, most moai face inland, not out to sea. It's believed they were placed to watch over the communities that built them, serving as powerful ancestral guardians. Rapa Nui's isolation only adds to its mystique. With its windswept plains, volcanic craters, and silent stone giants, the island stands as a haunting reminder of human ingenuity and the secrets time still keeps. Wulingjuan, China. In China's Hunan province rises a landscape so surreal, it inspired the floating mountains in James Cameron's Avatar. This is Wulingyuan, a forest not of trees, but of towering sandstone pillars, some reaching over 200 meters into the sky. With more than 3,000 natural stone spires, Wulingyuan looks like a scene from a dream. These vertical giants were sculpted by millions of years of erosion, creating a maze of cliffs, ravines, and lush greenery. But the beauty doesn't stop there. The park is also home to caves, waterfalls, and natural stone bridges, making every step an exploration. To take in the views, visitors can walk along glass-bottom bridges that stretch between the cliffs, offering a thrilling perspective of the deep gorges below. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992, Wulingyuan is a breathtaking blend of natural wonder and cinematic fantasy, truly one of the world's most magical landscapes. Lake Kandy, Kazakhstan. Hidden deep in the Tian Shan Mountains of Kazakhstan lies a place unlike anywhere else on Earth, Lake Kandy. The lake with a sunken forest frozen in time. Formed by a massive landslide in 1911, the lake flooded a pine forest, leaving ghostly tree trunks rising from crystal-clear waters. Beneath the surface, the cold temperatures have preserved the branches, creating a surreal, submerged forest that seems straight out of a dream. At over 2,000 meters above sea level, Lake Kandy is a high-altitude wonder, framed by alpine meadows and rugged cliffs. In summer, its waters shimmer in shades of turquoise. In winter, the lake transforms, freezing over and turning into a quiet, icy world. Still relatively untouched by tourism, Lake Kandy offers a rare experience for those seeking the extraordinary. A place where nature quietly tells its own haunting, beautiful story. Pulpit Rock, Norway. Hovering above the deep blue waters of Norway's Lysefjord is one of the most iconic viewpoints on Earth. Pulpit Rock, or Preikestolen. This massive, flat-topped cliff rises over 600 meters, or almost 2,000 feet, straight up from the fjord below, forming a natural stone balcony that seems to defy gravity. Shaped by ancient glaciers during the last ice age, Pulpit Rock is the reward at the end of a 4-kilometer hike through rugged, scenic landscapes. The trail winds through pine forests, rocky slopes, and alpine streams, until you suddenly arrive at the edge of the world. There are no guardrails, no fences, just you, the wind, and the vertical drop beneath your feet. It's both humbling and exhilarating. So dramatic is this spot that it's been featured in films like Mission Impossible, but nothing on screen compares to standing there yourself. Blyde River Canyon, South Africa. In the northeast of South Africa, carved by time and framed by greenery, lies one of the planet's greatest natural wonders, Blyde River Canyon. It's not only the third largest canyon in the world, but also one of the greenest, draped in lush subtropical vegetation that sets it apart from the arid canyons elsewhere. Towering cliffs and deep valleys shape this dramatic landscape, with highlights like the Three Rondavels, massive rock formations that resemble traditional African huts. From God's Window, a legendary viewpoint, the horizon stretches endlessly over cliffs, rivers, and rolling plains. But this place isn't just about views. The canyon is alive with hippos, crocodiles, monkeys, and a rich variety of bird life, making it a paradise for nature lovers. As a key stop along South Africa's panorama route, Blyde River Canyon delivers nature on a grand scale, wild, scenic, and soul-stirring. Perito Moreno Glacier, Argentina. In the frozen heart of Patagonia in Argentina, a giant of ice continues to defy the odds. Perito Moreno Glacier, one of the few glaciers on Earth that's still advancing. Stretching over 30 kilometers and towering 70 meters above the surface of Lake Argentino, this glacier is a moving, cracking, groaning wall of ice. And every so often, massive chunks break off and crash into the lake below in a spectacle known as calving, a thunderous, awe-inspiring moment that draws visitors from around the world. Despite its remote location, Perito Moreno is surprisingly accessible, with a network of walkways and boat tours offering incredible, up-close encounters with this icy giant. Khon Pha-Phang Falls, Laos. In the heart of the Mekong River, where the water churns with unstoppable energy, lies Khon Pha-Phang Falls, the largest waterfall in Southeast Asia. Stretching over 10 kilometers, or 6 miles, during the rainy season, it's not just wide, it's wild. These thundering rapids are so powerful they've stopped boats, blocked explorers, and earned the nickname, the Niagara of the East. The sheer force of water surging through this stretch of the Mekong makes it one of the most dynamic natural barriers in the region. But beyond its raw energy, Khon Pha-Phang is also home to rare wildlife like the elusive Irrawaddy dolphin and the massive Mekong catfish. To the Lao people, the falls hold deep spiritual significance, with ancient legends tied to the rushing waters. Lake Tekapo, New Zealand. Nestled in New Zealand's southern Alps, Lake Tekapo is a scene straight from a postcard, its milky turquoise waters glowing beneath snow-capped peaks. The lake gets its vibrant color from glacial flour, fine rock particles suspended in the water, giving it a surreal, otherworldly hue. In late spring and early summer, the shores burst into life with fields of blooming lupins, vibrant purples, pinks, and blues lining the water's edge in a dazzling floral display. Standing quietly on the shore is the Church of the Good Shepherd, a tiny stone chapel that has become one of the country's most photographed landmarks, perfectly framed by mountains and lake. With nearby views of Mount Cook, New Zealand's tallest mountain, Lake Tekapo is more than a scenic stop. It's a place where color, light, and landscape come together in harmony. Devil's Marbles, Australia. Scattered across the arid landscape of Australia's Northern Territory, massive round boulders sit stacked upon one another as if placed by giants. These are the Devil's Marbles, or Karlu Karlu, a site both geologically fascinating and deeply spiritual. These enormous granite spheres are over 1.6 billion years old, shaped by erosion and weathering over countless millennia. Some are perfectly balanced, seeming to defy gravity, while others have been split cleanly in half, the result of natural forces slowly breaking them apart. For the indigenous Warramungu people, this place is sacred. According to their Dreamtime stories, the marbles are the eggs of the rainbow serpent, a powerful ancestral being. Even today, the area remains an important cultural and spiritual site. Though they have stood for millions of years, the Devil's Marbles are still changing. With each passing century, the forces of nature continue to sculpt this mysterious and ever-evolving wonder of the Australian outback. Bromo Tengger Semeru, Indonesia. In the heart of East Java, a dramatic volcanic landscape rises above the clouds. This is Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park, one of Indonesia's most iconic natural wonders. The park is home to a trio of forgettable volcanoes: the perfectly conical Mount Batok, the constantly steaming Mount Bromo, and Mount Semeru, Java's highest peak at over 3,600 meters and one of the most active in the country. At dawn, travelers climb to Mount Penanjakan to witness one of Southeast Asia's most stunning sights, a sunrise spilling golden light across misty craters and smoldering peaks. It's a view that feels otherworldly. But this isn't just a landscape of fire and ash, it's also sacred. The local Tenggerese people honor the spirits of the mountains during the Yadnya Kasada festival, offering food and gifts into the mouth of Mount Bromo itself. Vale Da Lua, Brazil. Tucked into the wild landscapes of Chapada dos Veadeiros in central Brazil, is a place that looks like it belongs on another planet, Vale Da Lua, or the Valley of the Moon. Here, ancient volcanic rock has been sculpted by the rushing waters of the Saint-Michel River, carving out a surreal playground of smooth gray stone, natural pools, and crater-like formations. The result is a lunar-like surface that glows in the sun and shifts in appearance with every change in light and water. Some of the pools are deep enough to swim in, offering a chance to float in nature's own carved basins, surrounded by silence, stone, and sky. Located within the Chapada dos Veadeiros National Park, Vale Da Lua is a perfect blend of geology and imagination, a reminder that Earth, at times, can feel wonderfully alien. The Skeleton Coast, Namibia. A place of haunting beauty, where the desert meets the raging sea. This is the Skeleton Coast, one of the most desolate and mysterious landscapes on Earth. Stretching along Namibia's Atlantic shoreline, this remote region is littered with the rusting remains of hundreds of shipwrecks, victims of the area's powerful currents, thick fog, and unpredictable waters. Early explorers feared this coast so much that they called it the land God made in anger. But despite its harsh conditions, life here has found a way to survive. Desert-adapted elephants, lions, hyenas, and seals roam the barren sands, thriving in one of the most unforgiving environments on the planet. The name Skeleton Coast isn't just about shipwrecks. Whale and seal bones once covered these beaches, remnants of a brutal past. Arashiyama, Japan. On the western edge of Kyoto lies a place where nature, history, and serenity come together, Arashiyama. Its most famous attraction is the Bamboo Grove, a tranquil path where towering stalks sway gently overhead, creating a peaceful, almost mystical atmosphere. This sound, the rustling of bamboo, has even been recognized as one of Japan's 100 soundscapes, a list of treasured natural sounds that reflect the country's deep connection to nature. But Arashiyama is more than just bamboo. The area is home to Tenryuji Temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site surrounded by traditional gardens and koi-filled ponds. Hike a little higher, and you'll reach Iwatayama Monkey Park, where wild macaques roam freely against a panoramic view of Kyoto. Each season transforms the landscape. Blossoms in spring, lush green in summer, fiery leaves in autumn, and soft snow in winter. Arashiyama isn't just a place, it's a timeless moment of calm, tucked into the rhythm of nature. Gullfoss, Iceland. In the land of fire and ice, few sights are as powerful, or as poetic, as Gullfoss, Iceland's iconic Golden Falls. This two-tiered waterfall plunges a total of 32 meters into a narrow canyon, sending mist high into the air as the Fita River crashes below. Its name, Gulfos, means Golden Falls, possibly inspired by the warm glow the water takes on under sunlight. But it's not just a natural marvel, it's also a symbol of preservation. In the early 20th century, plans were made to turn Gulfos into a hydropower plant. That future was stopped by a local farmer's daughter, whose relentless fight helped save the falls for generations to come. Today, Gulfos is a highlight of Slane's famed Golden Circle route, drawing visitors year-round. In winter, it transforms into a frozen masterpiece, part waterfall, part ice sculpture, proving that nature's beauty never rests. Benagil, Portugal. Along the sun-soaked coast of southern Portugal lies one of Europe's most stunning sea caves, Benagil. Hidden within towering limestone cliffs, this natural wonder is famous for its enormous domed ceiling, complete with a circular opening known as the Eye. Carved over thousands of years by relentless wave erosion, the Benagil Sea Cave is a masterpiece of nature's patience. Inside, soft golden sand meets the turquoise waters of the Atlantic, forming a small, secluded beach that feels completely untouched. But reaching this magical spot isn't as simple as it seems. The cave is only accessible by water, whether by kayak, paddleboard, or boat. There's no land path in, which only adds to its hidden, secretive charm. Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. Along the rugged coast of Northern Ireland lies a landscape that looks like it was carved by giants. This is the Giant's Causeway, a surreal formation made up of around 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, most of them nearly perfect hexagons. Formed over 60 million years ago by ancient volcanic activity, the lava cooled and cracked in just the right way to create these geometric wonders. The precision is so striking, it's hard to believe it wasn't made by human hands. But legend tells another story. According to Irish myth, the causeway was built by the giant Finn McCool, who laid the stones to cross the sea and challenge a rival in Scotland. Today, the Giant's Causeway is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most visited natural attractions in the UK, a place where geology meets folklore, and nature shows off its most astonishing symmetry. Mount Yasur, Vanuatu. On the remote island of Tanna in Vanuatu, fire meets sky at Mount Yasur, one of the most accessible active volcanoes in the world. For over 800 years, this volcano has been in a near-constant state of eruption, hurling lava, ash, and steam into the air in a mesmerizing, fiery display. What makes Mount Yasur so unique is just how close you can get. Visitors can stand near the rim and witness the eruptions up close, feeling the ground tremble beneath their feet. In fact, you'll often hear the deep rumbles and explosions long before the volcano comes into view. Early sailors once used the glowing crater as a natural lighthouse, its fiery beacon visible far out at sea. For local tribes, Yasur is more than just a volcano. It's sacred, playing a central role in spiritual traditions like the John Frum movement. Trolltunga, Norway. Jutting out over a breathtaking fjord in western Norway is one of the world's most dramatic natural ledges, Trolltunga, or the Troll's Tongue. Perched 2,300 feet, or 700 meters, above Lake Ringedalsvatnet, this narrow slab of stone looks like it was made for daring explorers. Formed during the Ice Age, Trolltunga was carved by glaciers that slowly sculpted the surrounding cliffs into the jagged beauty seen today. Getting there isn't easy. It requires a 10 to 12-hour round-trip hike through rugged terrain, but the reward is worth every step. Brave hikers often walk to the very edge for that iconic photo. No guardrails, just sky and fjord below. But timing is everything. The trail is only open from mid-June to mid-September, and conditions can change in an instant. Punakaiki, New Zealand. On the rugged west coast of New Zealand's South Island, nature has carved out a masterpiece unlike any other. Punakaiki, home to the famous Pancake Rocks, is one of the country's most fascinating coastal wonders. These strange limestone formations look like stacks of thick, uneven pancakes. Over 30 million years ago, layers of marine fossils and sediment were compressed under immense pressure, only to be sculpted by wind and waves into the formations seen today. But the real spectacle happens when the tide is high. As waves crash into the cliffs, water is forced through natural blowholes, sending geysers of mist and spray high into the air. Located along New Zealand's West Coast Highway, one of the world's most scenic drives, Punakaiki is a stunning destination. It also serves as the gateway to Paparoa National Park, where dense rainforests, hidden caves, and limestone gorges invite exploration. Chapada Diamantina, Brazil. In the heart of Bahia, far from Brazil's bustling beaches and cities, lies a highland wonderland, Chapada Diamantina National Park. Known as the Diamond Plateau, this region once sparkled with real diamonds during the 19th century rush. Today, it shines for a different reason: its natural beauty. Towering cliffs, tabletop plateaus, and endless valleys make Chapada one of Brazil's most dramatic landscapes. At its heart plunges Cachoeira da Fumaça, or Smoke Falls, one of the highest waterfalls in the country, dropping over 340 meters, or over 1,000 feet, in a sheer misty cascade. But it's not just what's above ground that amazes. Underground, caves like Poço Azul and Poço Encantado reveal glowing blue waters lit by beams of sunlight, creating a dreamlike world beneath the surface. The cliffs of Etched, France. Along the windswept coast of Normandy, the cliffs of Etched rise in striking white arcs above the crashing waves of the English Channel. These towering chalk formations, sculpted by centuries of wind and sea, include soaring natural arches and the iconic needle-like spire known as L'Aiguille. Their beauty has long captured the imagination of artists and writers. Claude Monet painted them in every light and season. Gustave Courbet and Guy de Maupassant found inspiration here, turning Etched into a muse of French art and literature. But these cliffs hold more than just artistic history. In World War II, they served as a strategic lookout, their vantage points critical for coastal defense. Today, they're part of scenic hiking trails, offering panoramic views and a connection to the timeless power of nature. With each wave and whisper of wind, the cliffs of Etched continue to shape stories, in stone and in spirit. Hokkaido, Japan. In Japan's far north lies a land of wild beauty and dramatic contrast, Hokkaido. As the country's second-largest island, it offers vast open spaces, rugged mountains, and a peaceful escape from the crowds of the mainland. Hokkaido is shaped by fire and frost. Its volcanic roots give rise to steaming hot springs and bubbling geothermal valleys like Noboribetsu Onsen, while winter transforms the island into a snow-covered wonderland, famous for its deep powder and ice festivals. In summer, the fields explode with color. Lavender, sunflowers, and wildflowers stretch across the countryside. Wildlife thrives here, from brown bears and red foxes to majestic cranes and sea eagles. Hokkaido is also home to the Ainu people, Japan's indigenous culture, with unique spiritual traditions, art, and language still preserved today. Untamed, seasonal, and deeply rooted in tradition, Hokkaido is where Japan reveals its wild, untouched side. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the wonders of our planet. Stay curious. Stay curious, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventure, where even more magic awaits.